Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. A little different. We're doing the shared mic sessions. What is this? Okay, well, I get to go on podcast as a guest, and it's so much fun that I want to share these episodes with you because some of these have been a while ago, and you probably have never heard me as a guest. You hear me as a host here all the time. You're like, well, what if Dave was a guest? What would that sound like? Well, this is me on a podcast, and I wanted to share it with you. As part of our daily episodes in 2026, it's a chance to hear me on another show. I hope you're ready for this. Are you? Okay, so it's Dave. I'm glad to be with you. I'm actually in the house and not in the backyard. Woo! I'm able to find some quiet time to get in here and do this. We are doing the shared mic sessions, and this is really fun for me. I was a guest on they call me Mista Yu, and he is a great podcaster, a good podcast friend. And I was on his show, he was on this show, and I love that kind of back and forth. So if you're ever looking for a guest to be on your show and you also want to be a guest, then maybe we should work together. Howtopodcast.ca, let me know. It was a great time talking to the Mista Yu, and we got into a lot of information around podcasting and a lot of fun. So here's my conversation, my episode, guesting on They Call Me Mista Yu. Here he is, the one and only. You know him, you love him, Mista Yu. Here we go.
Welcome back to One-on-One with Mista Yu. Of course, I'm your host, Mista Yu. In studio with us, the founder of True Media Solutions and the podcast host of the How To Podcast series. 9 separate shows. This guy's a Renaissance man too, man. Dave Campbell's in the house today. What's up, brother? How are you, man?
Mista Yu, hey, I'm glad to be here with you, my friend. Good to see you again.
Same here, man. Our conversations have been fun and eventful, to say the least. So much to get into. Hopefully we have enough time to get into a lot of this that I want to talk to you about, man. But you do so many amazing things. I want our viewers, listeners to follow this stuff. So let's jump right in, man. Customarily, I always ask our guests to come in and share briefly about their childhood and their upbringing. What got you from there to where you are right now?
So I grew up here in Canada. Great family situation. A really a great childhood growing up. I think the one thing that I really needed in my life was just to find my voice. I think was the hardest thing for me growing up. Kind of a shy kid. You kind of think of the kid that sat in the corner, nobody really talked to too much. So to get into podcasting and stuff like this and meet great people like you, I think podcasting has really opened a lot of doors for me and a lot of great connections and a lot of opportunities for me to actually develop my voice. So for anybody thinking about starting a show or being a podcaster or creating content, it's a great way to find out who you really can be. And I think that helped me just to turn up the Dave dial just a little bit by being a podcaster.
I love that, man. I love that. There's a lot of layers to you, brother, and I want to try to flesh out as much as I can because you're a very interesting person, man. I want to try to get into this as much as we can. You got you're an empty nester like myself. All 3 of yours are out of the house. Same with the 3 of mine. They're all they're on their own separate solo missions. And you got your wife, and you've just been together for a long time. You do a lot of things, man. Podcast is just something that we definitely share a love for. It's weird how we both got into the business, but how'd you get into podcasting? Can you share that?
Yeah, I'm a musician. I've been doing music editing and mixing and stuff for bands and stuff and my own stuff as well over the years and years. And when I started listening to podcasts, I'm like, I didn't know if I'd really want to listen to somebody talk. I'm like, do I want somebody talking in my ear? I like music. So, but I took a chance. I pressed play on a podcast and fell in love with it. Went, I got all the equipment here to do mixing and stuff for bands. Why don't I just do a podcast? So I started editing for podcasters, and I fell in love with working with podcasters. I wanted my own show, and one show became 9 shows over time. And I'm all in now. I'm stuck, and I'm stuck in a good way because I get to meet great people and carry on these great conversations and connect with people around the world. To know that you can record something, put it out in the world, and somebody in another part of the world, the other side of the world, will send you a message or leave you information, feedback, comments. It's amazing. It's the whole world is here for you in podcasting. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it.
I love it, man. I love that a lot. One thing I know, a lot of our listenership, they are podcasters and content creators. Many of them are listening right now as we speak. I want people who are maybe not thinking about podcasting to don't miss the important part of this episode, because I really believe that there is a aspect of, like you said, finding your voice. Is aspect of, and that's a real great story. I want you to share that too, how you found yours, but also just because of the desire to grow businesses, which you're doing also. There's a lesson in that. So if you're not a podcaster per se, you haven't really thought about that, don't tune us out. There's a lot more meat on this bone for you guys. So just stay tuned. Continue to keep listening. Dave has a lot of nuggets to drop with you guys. But how did you find your voice, man? I mean, we consider ourselves fellow introverts, and we had a lot of growing to do to get on the mic, hit record, and let the whole world not only hear our voice, but see our faces too.
Right.
How did you find your voice, Dave?
Well, when you told me, Mr. Yu, that you were an introvert, I'm like, there's no way. Because there's no way that you're an introvert. I'm just drawn to you, how you show up and how you serve your community. I think that's part of it. We have this thing in our mind that says, nobody wants to hear from you. And I'm like, so if you're an author, or anything, parent, anything in your life, you're just like, who cares what I have to say? But just putting yourself out there and learning new skills and putting yourself a little further than you would normally naturally be is going to open up a world for you. It's going to open up new relationships and friendships and, community for you. So for me, that's really my driving force. Is I just want to be better than I have been in the past, and realizing at our age, Mr. Yu, that we're kind of at that part where there's more in the rearview mirror than there is in the ahead of us. And what are we going to do with this part of our life? And how are we going to serve? Our kids are out of the house. What's next for us? And I think whatever that is for you, as you listen or watch this, then go after that. There's nothing stopping you from that next part of your life and whatever your next chapter is. So chase it down hard, and don't have any fear. You have so much to give, but based on what you've learned, what you know, who you've met, there's a depth of wisdom in your life, and all you need is a way to kind of tap into it and release the valve, let it out. So whatever that is for you, chase it.
I love it, man. I love this. And I know you talked about being an introvert, and sometimes I kind of chuckle too. I'm like, man, you got so much in you, man. I mean, we just heard a little snippet of it just now. There's so much in you, man, that go. And people think introverts are people who don't want to talk to people. It's not even that. We find our energy from different places.
Right.
As an empty nester, I know that it's a transition that a lot of people deal with. Maybe hopefully people who are watching and listening, they kind of get that too. Tell me, kind of give me a peek into the future. I know you got 9 shows, which I'd love for you to try to share about, what sparked that, and, which of the ones are your baby, the ones you love the most, or the ones that touch you the most, however. But what's your goal? What's your plan? Because now we spend all of our energy trying to invest in our kids, making sure that they make all the right decisions before they go out on their own. They had to make decisions on their own without us kind of hovering over them. What's your goal? What's the big picture plan for you now that you have this, I wouldn't say free time, because you do so much now, but just, now that your focus is shifted from raising your kids, now you don't have to worry about that. What's your goal? What are you doing? What's your focus like? What's your approach?
Yeah, I think my biggest goal is to serve. All my life, that's kind of been my main focus, is who can I serve and how can I serve them well. Having the kids out of the house, for me, it's about legacy. Some people write books, and that's their legacy, to have a book on the shelf. My legacy is a microphone and headphones and meeting great people like you and having conversations and building people up. I've kind of had this goal for the last couple of years, Mr. Yu, that I'm on this mission to collect people. Some people collect houses and cars and money, whatever. I want to collect people. I want to collect connections with people. And this just happens to be the best way for me. As a listener and viewer, you might have your own path, but whatever that is, you have to go after that. But if it's writing a book, then write the book. Like, I want my kids to be able to press play and hear their dad's voice in the future. I would give $1 billion, Mr. Yu, if I could listen to my dad's voice. Lost my dad years ago to cancer. He's gone. I have like a couple cassettes. I know people don't even know what that is, but I have a couple cassettes of him. Right? He was a pastor, a speaker, and I have him speaking in church and preaching, and to hear his voice, like my skin, again, right now, my skin starts to get all like weird and I get a little goosebumps. That's my dad's voice. And if I can do that in podcasting, then my children, my grandchildren, they're going to be able to hear me in the future. And I think that's one little thing as well that we can put out in the world, is give our kids and our family something for the future. So while I'm here on this planet, and as long as I can do this, as long as I have breath, I just want to make that connection with more people.
Well done, man. Thank you for dispelling the myth about introverts, because honestly, I lived under that for quite a few years and didn't realize how erroneous it was what I was living under. And if you're a professor introvert as well, but you just desire the power of genuine connection, can you kind of share where you've seen that the most value in genuinely connecting? How it's growing you as a person? Can you share that a little bit? I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, my mother passed away, and when I lost her, I remember going to my podcast and saying, "Hey, everybody, I'm taking a break. I lost my mom," and the outpouring of love from people who would maybe casually listen to my show or casually interact with my stuff. People were reaching out, and I'm like, wow. Like, it's a community, it's a family, right? And I think when somebody reaches out to me and says, because of you, my life is different, or I'm on a different path, or whatever that is, that's like the coolest thing ever. I have one person says to you, listens to my show, not because of what I talk about, but because of me. And they said, I don't listen to your content. I'll never start a podcast, but I come and listen to you because of who you are. You could talk about anything. I would listen to your show. But it's a companionship. Some people are just looking for that in life. And the fact that I'm showing up on a regular basis for them, I'm predictable, I'm accountable. They know that I'm going to be there next week. That just gives the opportunity to build that relationship over time. I've never met this person in real life. All I have is a voice message, but it's the best voice message. I keep it. And anytime I'm having those days where I'm like, I don't even know if I really want to do this today, I hit play on that message and go, okay, let's go.
I love that story. Every time I hear it. I love that. You're talking about doing something I think is kind of revolutionary, because I think people have given up on social media for the most part. I can't lie to you. If I didn't have to use it for the sake of podcasting, I'm not quite sure I would use it as much as I do. Yeah. But that's my personal thing. I'm not putting that on anybody, not projecting that. That's just kind of my thing, where I'm at. But you talk about a very interesting concept, putting social back into social media. Mm-hmm. What's that mean?
I think we have the tendency to post something and leave. And so, for example, I would consider YouTube as a form of social media. I posted an episode of Dad Space, my podcast for dads. I posted it on YouTube, and I was still on YouTube doing some monkeying around and updating some stuff. Bam, a comment on that latest episode. It's been live on YouTube for less than 3 minutes. Somebody left a comment. In that moment, I can continue doing what I'm doing, or I can stop, interact with that person in real time, because they're leaving a message about Mr. Yu on my show, right? So I'm like, I got to jump in and respond to that comment. I think on social media, email, however you do, whatever you do, when somebody reaches out to you, to be responsive. So I use SpeakPipe, which is a way to leave voice messages, I mentioned. So when somebody leaves me a voice message, I respond. If somebody leaves me a message on Instagram, I respond. I just think that we need to put social back in social media, show up where people are. Don't post something and then ghost everybody. Stick around, right?
Sure.
I think that's something that we can do, is honor the people that show up for us, just by being a good human being. That's something simple, but something hard to execute on, I think, on a regular basis.
No, it's fantastic, man. I really love that. You started True Media Solutions, and you do a lot of things with all of your shows. Kind of talk to me about why you started that. I know you got several shows too, so if you don't mind kind of sharing about some of those, two of the ones that kind of really impact you the most, or success stories in that. But why did you start True Media, and what have you been seeing since you started?
Yeah, so I'm sure you're going to get the same question, Mr. Yu. They're going to be like, hey, I love your show. How did you do it? That's how it started for me. Hey, I like what you're doing. Can you show me how to do whatever? And because I'm doing 9 different podcasts, I have 9 websites, I have 9 social media accounts, I have 9 everything. Everybody's like, can you just help me? And so that's why I started my How to Podcast series, so I can help people with their shows. And I wanted that show in particular to be a community feel. I didn't want it to be a big Dave fest. because my opinion is my opinion and what I do might not work for you. So why should you do it my way? I'm not the expert on everything. I don't know everything. So I bring people on like you, and you talk about how you do your journey, and I talk about how I do my journey. And then the listener has a choice. They can decide if your path is better for them or my path. And that's the beauty of podcasting. There's no rules. And content creation, there's no rules. You can do whatever you want. So I wanted to do something that was community-based. Again, I want to build a connection with people, right? So I built True Media just to help people. And on top of being a podcaster, I run like a meetup twice a week. I'm doing one today. And we get together and just support each other. And what I love is I get to sit back and watch the community run itself, which is really kind of cool. When you can have people on your screen who interact with your content and then they connect with each other who have this commonality of your show. So I show up because I watch Mr. Yu, you watch Mr. Yu. So we both have that in common. So we're friends because we both watched this podcast. So I get to talk to other viewers and listeners of your show. It's kind of this cool little community thing that's happening. And you can push back and you can just watch this happen in real time. It's amazing to see that happen.
Yeah, that's rare to me. I haven't heard. I mean, there's people out here that have these little podcasting groups, and they try to present things like that. But honestly, the majority of ones that I see kind of fall flat. Right. And it's not really that desire to break out. Which is, like I said, this is astounding because you consider yourself an introvert, and you're doing things that, in my mind, they're revolutionary compared to what I've been seeing out here in the podcast realm. These community meetups, are they all local? How was that? Is it a hybrid? How is that working?
Yeah, they're all virtual. They're on meetup.com, the website. So people are finding me from France and the US and Canada, all over the place, New Zealand. They're finding that and they're coming to it. And we do it twice a week. Doesn't cost anything for my people who attend. It costs me money every month to host there, but it's an investment for me. And I'd much rather invest money in that than in advertising, because advertising, I don't really know if I'm going to get a return. But when I pay for this monthly fee and sometimes I'll have 16 people in the room, they're all podcasters, some starting, some long-term podcasters. And we all get together and do community together. It's the best thing ever. I get more requests to do more events. Like, can you do more? I'm like, well, I have a job. I have all these other shows. I edit for people. I have to spend time with Mr. Yu because I love spending time with him. So I would love to do more, but I only have so much in my calendar, unfortunately.
Send me the link to this thing. I've heard it meet up. I think it was probably several years ago. But yeah, send me the link, please. I want to support that, because that's the kind of stuff that kind of gets me revved up. Authentic community, people actually, having conversations and getting to know each other, not just behind this social media wall, if you will. So please send me that. I really appreciate that.
I would love to feature you there, Mr. Yu. I'd love to have you on.
But I didn't say I want to be on TV.
I want you there. Man. This would be great.
Okay. I'm happy to be a part of what you're doing, Nick. I think it's really valuable. Talk to us about the apple seed principle. I've heard the story, so I'm not learning this for the first time, but I love when you share about the apple seed principle. Break that down for the people.
So it's not my quote, so I can't take credit for this, everybody. So if you're coming after me, I didn't write this, but it's something that impacted me a long time ago. And I see it in podcasting, content creation, whatever. The idea is, if you take an apple, cut it in half, you're going to see apple seeds. You can go with your knife, pick out all the apple seeds, put them on the table. You can count the number of seeds inside of an apple, but you can't count the number of apples inside of a seed.
That's good.
Think about that for a second. Just pick up that one seed. Tell me how many apples are going to come from that seed. You have no way to predict that. You're going to plant that seed. It's going to turn into a tree. Tree's going to produce apples for X number of years. How many apples? I have no idea. So what I get, Mr. Yu, sometimes from podcasters, they get one listen to their episode, or they get one view on what they did in their podcast, and they're like, I failed. I'm not good at this. I'm going to quit. Because only one person interacted with what I did. So what if that one person went home and treated their wife better, treated their kids better? What if that one person was on a wrong path in life and was trying to leave this world, but because of your content, they stuck around and they found new hope because of something you said or a guest said on your show? Their life is different. So that one person, their life is different. Does that not matter? I think it does. I think it matters a lot, because you can't measure the impact of that content and the impact on that person. So create for the one person. Don't get so caught up in I need 1,000 true fans. I need to be a top 100% or this or that. Just focus on the one. And the one will become 2, which become 10, which become 100 over time. But always focus on that one. And if only one person listened, would you quit your show, Mr. Yu, or would you keep going? For me, I keep going.
That's already happened. I'm still here.
Right. So that's the apple seed. You can't count the number of apples in a seed. So it's something to think about.
That's something I love. That I think I remember a quote that you love by Theodore Roosevelt.
Right. Do what you can with what you have where you are. That's probably the best thing for me. It's freeing, right? Because I get people caught up in this loop of I got to learn everything about everything before I start. I'm like, no, you don't. You just need to have enough to get going. That's it. Do what you can with what you have where you are. It's really a great 3-pronged approach to life.
I love this, man. This is really good. There's so much meat here. I hope we have time to get into everything.
You do your homework, Mr. Yu. You do your homework. I like this.
I'm trying to be a good interviewer, man. So, that's all I'm trying to accomplish right now. And to highlight you, people who are incredible like you, and get you out there as much as possible, because you do great things, and I value you as a person and as a fellow colleague, and I want to just see you. I want to see you shine, brother.
Hey.
You talked about podcast 101 and some things that you teach your people. I know a lot of our listeners that are podcasters and content creators. We've had the conversations on the side, so I know it's a real thing. The whole making money part, making money with our podcast, that part. Talk to us about how you approach that. How would you speak to people who are trying to accomplish that? What kind of wisdom would you give to them?
Yeah, first question to anybody asking about making money with your content is how much money? What are you looking for? You're looking to replace your income? You're going to quit your job? Okay, well, how much are your bills? What do you got? Mortgage, car payments, family? I need to know that number first before we can have any conversation. So that's the first thing. If you just want to make $20 a month, okay, great. We can do that right away. I can help you with that. No problem at all. There's some things you can do as a podcaster, content creator. You can make that kind of money. You want to take your wife out for dinner? We can make that kind of money. Want to buy flowers? Great. We got plans for that. But first is like, what does success look like for you as a creator? And that'll be the first thing we need to answer. For me, I set up like a buy me a coffee, and it's a way for my audience to give feedback to the show by saying thanks. And it's a simple thing, like $5. People can leave a $5 sponsorship of the show, and they already got the value. They're just giving it back to me through that website, for example. That's free to set up. You can make money today, one episode, no problem. But I use it as an engagement piece. So any money that comes into me, what I like to do is reinvest it into other podcasters. So I took a podcaster to a podcasting conference, paid for their hotel, paid for all the stuff, all the expenses to go to this event for a couple of days. And all the money came from my listeners and my community. They paid for this person. So I don't technically need it. I have a job, but it's a way for my audience to be engaged with me, to the point where I've actually got an email from Buy Me a Coffee going, what are you doing up there in Canada? Because people don't get that kind of level of donations. So are you doing something nefarious with your thing? Are you doing something wrong with our platform? Because it was the creator of Buy Me a Coffee. I'm like, no, my audience is being very receptive, and I reinvest the money in other people. And they're like, okay, good. We just wanted to check, because that's not normal. So we're getting some good response from people. So if you want to make money with your show, there's some great tools out there. Buy Me a Coffee would be my suggestion as a starting point, because you don't have to create anything extra. By Patreon, people are paying you extra money every month, and now you got to create new content just for them. That's fine if you have time. Buy Me a Coffee, simple. The value is already out there. Let people say thank you through sponsoring your show.
Well, podcasting stuff to get into, because I think it's just such an incredible medium. Honestly, every day I learned something from doing this. I know when I started it, I was in a rough spot. Not a pretty picture. A lot of my friends, if you haven't been listening to the first few seasons of our show, audio only, you didn't hear my heart, so you don't know how rough it was for me. So to do this right now, sometimes I get emotional. Like I'm sitting here doing this, and it's blessing people. It's helping people. So when you talk about people who are skeptical, I'm like, wow, that's just the world that we live in. It's kind of sad. that people are skeptical about you doing something that's unorthodox or unique, but it serves other people and doesn't seem to have any strings attached. They can't even believe it. So it makes me kind of sad inside, but that's just my personal commentary, cutting into your interview time, talking about me. My apologies, man. I shouldn't be doing that. But I want to get more into the podcast work. You got 9 different podcasts, brother. If you can, in a nutshell, kind of share why you have 9, what the point is of each one, and what your goal is. Are you trying to have more? What are you trying to accomplish? You're about to go into the record books in the minute. So,
well,
what do you do?
Yeah, so this November, there's a challenge to do 30 episodes in 1 month, right? So that's a daily episode every November. I've been doing it for the last 3 years. Last year, 3 of my shows participated. That was 90 episodes in 1 month. This year, 4 of my podcasts would be participating. It's 120 episodes. Will be going out this November. So I'm chugging away here. I'm doing about 10 to 12 episodes a week across my 9 different shows. They all have different release schedules. That's kind of what I do. So I have one for dads. I have an author podcast. I have 2 podcasts about podcasting. I have a music podcast. I have a podcast about just, living your side hustle. I have a children's podcast. The reason why I have so many is because I have so many different interests. And I wouldn't advise anybody to do this many podcasts. Please don't. It's a lot of work. But every podcast I get to record, I get to meet somebody new. So on my journey to collect people, the fastest way for me to collect the most amount of people as listeners, as viewers, as guests on my show is to have more shows. So I'm on that mission to connect with as many people as possible. That's why I'm doing as much. And if I had a few more days in the week, I would do more. But my wife said no. So that's it. I'm cut off at 9. But every time I get on the microphone and have a great interaction with people like you, my day's better. And again, as an introvert, I can control the conversation. I can control the interaction. And this is really, really works for me. I'm not really good in big groups. I don't know my place, but here I found my spot. So this is my happy place. So anytime I get to meet people like you and have conversations, and it's the coolest thing ever for me. I've definitely found my home in podcasting.
It's good stuff, man. I'm so proud of you, man.
Hey, I want to say something. I'm going to hijack your show. As a listener and viewer of your show, I know there's someone else that would love to be sitting here with you right now. So on behalf of them, I want to say thank you to you for how you show up for us. You just keep bringing on amazing people on your show. I know your heart. I know when I listen and watch your show, what I'm going to get. And the common thing across every episode, no matter who comes on this seat where I'm sitting with you, is you. You're the reason I come back. The same thing that happened to me is that's how I see you. You're the main reason I come back for this. You can have anybody sit in this seat. I'm coming back for you, man, because that's how you show up. There's nothing fake about you. And as a member of your community, on behalf of everyone, I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you for what you do. And I want to cheer you on because you're doing great work. So keep going.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. You got a big place in this world, man. I don't know if you know that or not. I just want to encourage you in return. Thank you for those kind words too, brother. You're just a kind guy, man. I mean, wish there's more of you out here.
My wife would disagree with that, Mr. Yu. My wife would like, you have enough.
Right now, I would publicly disagree with her and look and tell her that there's things that I see maybe you're not seeing, but this guy got value.
Okay.
What goes on at the house. We talk a lot about men's mental health, and we discuss that a lot. You know that what we've been doing with our men's roundtable series podcast is new. We do it once a month. So just a lot going on there. I'm still waiting for you to respond to my invite. I haven't gotten that yet.
I'm coming.
I haven't got the text. I haven't got anything back from you yet. So I don't know what's going on there. But tell me why you think mental health is so important an issue, especially for whether it's in regards to men, yourself personally, or both. Tell me why you think it's important. There's a lot of men that are watching, listening right now that may not even be thinking about it. I was one of them. I was just rolling in life and didn't even think about my mental health. I was just doing stuff and didn't realize the impact until I couldn't avoid it anymore.
Right.
Why is that important to you?
I'll use my Dad Space podcast as the foundation for this answer. I love the question. When I was having one of my children in the hospital, the doctor looked at me and said, If you pass out, there's nobody here for you. We're not going to catch you, right? We're focused on your wife, which I'm glad they're focused on my wife. That's the main reason we're here. But the idea that there was nobody here for me, the day after, I'm holding my son, my wife is resting in bed, my family's all gone back home. All I could hear in my head, Mr. Yu, was there's nobody here for you. And that feeling of feeling totally inadequate, like I have no skills, no talents, no abilities. I don't know anything about being a dad. In that moment, I needed somebody. So the idea that there could be a podcast, there could be a conversation between two guys where I didn't feel so alone, could fill that void, is the reason I created that show. So if you feel like that and you feel like there's nobody that understands you, then come listen to Mr. Yu, come listen to his show, come listen to my show, find a community, and don't do this alone as a dad. You will learn more by listening and putting things into practice from another dad than you'll ever do on your own. So please go find those resources, be in community. I know that the older I get, Mr. Yu, the less of my friendship circles just shrinks. People move away, people are gone.
The real thing.
Right? My whole bridal party, all the guys, my groomsmen who stood with me in the wedding, I can probably track down 1 or 2 people out of the 6 or 7 that were there that day. I don't know where they are. They're all gone. They're all in different parts of the world. So, your circle shrinks over time. So you need to expand it by going outside of your regular circle and bring new voices into your world. So again, follow your show and come check out Dad Space. I'd love to re-listen as well.
That's where the community part kicks in. That's what I'm just after that part. I don't know how to find it in this whole big old space that we're in. I'm figuring it out, but you said with the meetups, sounds like a great way. I definitely want to be involved with that. I can't emphasize that enough. But there's just so many opportunities for community, and we can find it if we really, really seek it, if we really, really want it. So you're doing a fantastic job of that, man. I really commend you, man. That's really admirable. I'm loving this. You've mentioned something that I want to kind of get into. I only have enough time for maybe a few more questions, but I'm going to give you extra time because you're just an awesome guy. I like you. You're my friend. I'm going to go a little deeper. You said podcasting is for everyone. I need you to flesh that out. I think I know where you're going with it because we have a relationship. But tell me why you think podcasting is for everyone. Well, tell the listeners and the viewers really. I think they need to know more than me. Why is podcasting for everyone?
So that is a double meaning in that you don't have to have a podcast to benefit from podcasting. You can listen to a podcast, right? The beautiful thing about podcasting, when you talk about men's mental health, for example, nobody knows what you're listening to. You're sitting there in front of your family, you got your headphones on, your earbuds in, you're listening to Mr. Yu and you're talking about men's mental health. You're struggling, but nobody in your family knows. Even your partner doesn't know where you're at. But when you find a familiar voice, a trusted voice in a conversation that helps you, you have the privacy of listening to a podcast. So in that, podcasting is for everyone. There is something about what you love, what you need in the moment that already exists in podcasting. So I want more people to come to the platform as listeners and viewers, because the more people who come, the better it's going to be. So in that way, podcasting is for everyone. If you think you can't share your story because of technology and know-how, those are things that can be easily worked through with help and support. But like, again, going back to you, without this platform, how would we have connected with each other? Probably very unlikely.
You're all the way in Canada. I have no idea.
There's no way, right? So you said yes to podcasting and putting yourself out there. As uncomfortable as it was for you starting out, you're still here. And now we have a relationship because of that. So your dedication to this created this opportunity. So don't think you can't do it. Podcasting is for everyone. If you want to do this, you don't have to do video. By the way, you can do audio. That's another option. So whatever you feel, if you have a story to tell, that's the thing. I think anybody can do this because everybody is unique. Even if you talk about something that somebody else talks about, nobody can do your show. So you're the only person who can do your show. And if you don't do it, then nobody will. You can reach people that nobody else can. So if you need help, between Mr. Yu and myself, we can definitely point you in the right direction.
It'd be an honor. I'd love to do that. Okay, a few more questions. We're going to try to move through this. I want to give you extra time because you got so much to give. I wanted to make sure I got as much as we could. You said that you felt like podcasting contributed to your personal development. How so?
I think that if you're not growing, if you're not learning, you're going backwards. That's kind of my thing. I drive a standard transmission in my car, Mr. Yu, and I tell people I can't drive automatic anymore because I can only drive standard. When you get on a hill and you put your clutch in, you have 3 pedals and 2 feet, right? Good luck, right? And then a car comes right up behind you and they're like almost touching your bumper. You can't go backward. You got to go forward. So in that moment, you got to go 3 feet. It's like 3 pedals, 2 feet. You're like, ah. So when you put that car into neutral, right, and take it out of gear, it's just going to roll. And it's going to roll backwards by natural. It's gravity, right? And I think as we don't continue to grow and expand and learn, we just start sliding backwards. So anytime that we can do to stay in gear and get to the next gear, whatever that is for you, by learning, reading, I'm finding some amazing people. And then again, to be able to have a conversation with that person you admire through podcasting, it's amazing. I'll get a book. I'll read the book. I love the book. I reach out to the author. They're like, I'll come on your show. Wow. Like you had an impact on me and now I get to have a conversation with you. Like I want to impact other people because you impacted me. I'm going to be doing that today with one of my guests coming up later today. So it's just like you have this platform now and you can help so many people. So honor the platform, honor your audience, right? And chase the things that are going to make you better. I think it's the whole growth thing for me is what I want to do.
All right. So this is the penultimate question, the one before the last question of the show. But you said a few minutes ago kind of sparked something for me. And this is not taking the introvert part out of this for a second. Are you most fulfilled by doing audio podcasts or video podcasts?
It's interesting. I started doing audio because audio was a lighter lift and I had better tools to help me do the edits. And because I have 9 shows, only so much time to the editing process. When I do video, it does really well. So I see both. And I admire what you're doing. And it's a good inspiration for me. If I had one show, Mr. Yu, I'd be all in on everything. Just so you know, I'd have more time. But
yeah,
some of my shows lend themselves to audio. Some of them lend themselves to video. And I like a hybrid of both. So that's kind of what I do for my audience. Some of my guests don't want to be on video, and I honor that because maybe they're nervous or there's security reasons why they can't be on video. That's great. I'm not going to force them. But when video is available, every time I do it, it has a better result every time I try. So I like them both.
Okay, that's very good. Okay. This is our CMV question. So last question of the show. After this, I'm going to have you speak to the people, let them know where they can find your work and any inspiration you want to share with the listeners. So our CMV question, career, mission, vocation, this is where I take everything off of the table, cleans everything that Dave's done up to this point. I wipe it off of the board, just temporarily. Off of the board.
Okay.
Kind of like Men in Black with the little stick that makes you forget your memory. Yeah, that thing. We're doing that just for a minute, off of the board.
Yeah.
What is Dave most likely doing with his life right now, career-wise, mission-wise, or vocation-wise right now? That he hasn't done before? New territory. Nope. You might have dreamt about it, might have written it down, but you never done it. But you want to do it.
I don't do often enough, and I would like to do more of it. It's been a long time, but getting on stage and meeting people in person. It's such a virtual world that we live in. I would love to do that more often. That's something I'm working
towards. You mean?
Yeah.
Professional speaking type deal? Okay. Yeah. Awesome. That's good. My follow-up question is usually, okay, so is there room for that now? Are you going to begin to embrace that idea?
There is some possible opportunities to get on stage and do that. Yeah. This is easy to do because we can do that.
Well, at least or virtually when this happens. I'd love to see this.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. It'd be really fun to do. I like the interaction with people, even though, again, big crowds, not really a big fan, but the opportunity to be in front and have an impact with people in person and that genuine connection in person, I think. I'd love to meet you in person sometime, Mr. Yu.
I wish.
Come on, man.
I wish we could make that happen. Come on. That would be fantastic. Let everybody know where they can find your work, Dave, and any inspiration you want to share, whatever order you want to do that in.
Sure.
Totally for you, man. Floor is yours, brother. Go ahead.
Again, thank you for the opportunity to be with you and to represent your community here on the show. I appreciate it. TrueMediaSolutions.ca, because I'm in Canada, has a list of all my podcasts, and the podcasts that I edit for, I help other people as well. So love to talk to you if you need any help with that. But yeah, I just go out there and collect as many people as possible. Make that your obsession, that you want to meet people and have true, genuine connection with people. Put that social back in social media. I think it's really important. The one thing I'm working on right now, Mr. Yu, is this thought. Don't wait for the finish line to tell people about your race. Don't wait till you're done. Bring people along with you, right? Let them see the journey. Because as people see you experiment, learn, and grow, they'll feel empowered to do something similar. Might not be podcasting, might be something else, but as they watch you and they see you develop and they see you improve and grow over time, just inspiration. So don't wait till the finish line. Share your journey as you go.
Fantastic stuff. And this has been a privilege. I want to do this again as soon as we can. We can discuss anything from the other podcasts. We can make it work. I want you back in the box with me again, man. This was fantastic. Excellent. Hang in afterwards, bro. I want 5 minutes of your time after this. But for you guys watching and listening, thank you for watching Dave and hearing his story. Check out TrueMediaSolutions.ca, where all his products are, his podcasts are. And of course, if you're watching and listening to this show, any reason on my behalf, whether it be coaching, whether it be the podcast, of course, check us out. They call me Mr. Yu.buzzsprout.com or find us on social media. Hit me in the DMs. Love to hear your comments and questions and help you out wherever I can. But thanks again for making us part of your week. Have a fantastic day. Dave Campbell and Mr. Yu, we're out.
All right, so that was the episode. Great to be on the show, Mr. Yu. Thank you so much for having me. Again, I'm looking for a guest co-host for the episodes here on the How to Podcast series. Looking into the fall of 2026, I am looking for anyone that's interested in podcasting. You don't have to have an established podcast to be a guest on the show. You can be someone who does something adjacent to podcasting. You help podcasters. Or you're just starting. You're thinking about starting. You haven't hit record. You don't even have a mic. You want to come on and chat about your journey and about your ideas and your questions. I can guarantee you that whoever's listening to this show also has the exact same questions that you have. So you bringing them up and sharing your journey is awesome. And then as we work together, and supporting each other, as you get to launch date, we can have you back to celebrate that you've gone from concept and idea to practical application and posting. Your podcast is live, and we will all come and celebrate you as a new podcaster. So it's open for you right now. howtopodcast.ca, calendar links on the website. Let's get together, talk about you coming on as a guest co-host. Again, it's low pressure. It's a conversation. We're not perfect here, but we just want to talk about your journey and your questions about podcasting. howtopodcast.ca. Talk to you soon. Take care.